Okay, so one day I was sitting at a truck stop in St. Louis waiting for my next load to come through across the Qualcomm. The first thing I did was go in and use the restroom. And while I was washing my hands, there's this guy that came up to me and was talking to me, and he's been really friendly. And I went to walk outside, and he was following me, and he was telling me he was a veteran. He showed me his chest. He had a big, huge bulge coming out, and told me he had a pacemaker. He asked me for some money for food or whatever, and I was really annoyed just because this happens at so many truck stops, like basically everywhere, all of them. And eventually he talked me into giving him like $20. And pretty sure I saw him get into a car with somebody and drive off after that. So I felt really dumb, and that's why I don't tend to give people money even when they ask for it. It's always a lie, almost, when they say they're going to use it for food or gas or whatever. Anyway, I needed to clean out my trailer so it was ready to be loaded the next place I went to once I got my load. And I was taking care of that while I was waiting. So, as usual, I didn't lock the truck since I wasn't going very far. After I swept it out, got rid of all the trash that was in it, I came back to the cab and opened the door. And I noticed next to my fire extinguisher was some kind of trash. It kind of looked like crumpled up copper wire and a blue fishnet bag that something may have come in. I only saw it because it was perfectly eye level as I opened the door. And at first, I didn't really think anything about it. I just figured maybe it was some trash I didn't remember and accidentally dropped down there. I climbed up into the truck and looked back to the part of the truck where the bed was, the sleeper. And there was a woman sitting there. Her cheeks were all squirreled out, like she just stuffed a cheeseburger in her mouth, like all at once. There's a little McDonald's bag next to her as well, so I'm guessing she took the time to have her lunch break while she was waiting for me to come back to the truck. But my immediate reaction was to say, "Who the fuck are you? Get the fuck out!" She tried to say something, but with all the food stuff in her mouth, I couldn't understand what she was saying. So I just repeated, "Get the fuck out!" I climbed out of the truck and left the door open and just waited for her. She climbed out, and I stood there away from the truck a little bit so that way any conversation we had could be seen by anybody else that was nearby. I wanted her to leave me alone, but she was insisting she could keep me company. And at one point, she even put her hands down my pocket, which just made me pull away even farther. I'd already told her several times that I'm married, and at this point, I repeated it again and showed her my ring. She said, "Oh, you're cute though." And I was like, "Yeah, my wife agrees. My wife agrees." Eventually, she was like, "Oh, you are married. Okay, then." And she left me alone. I just felt so violated from that, so I made it a habit to keep the truck locked for a long time after that. To this day, the first thing I do when I get in the truck is check the back to make sure nobody's hiding back there. And let this be a nice lesson to all of you. Always keep your doors locked and never give strangers money directly. If they say they need food, gas, and you just feel the need to help them, you feel like you have to, go buy them what they say they're needing and hand it to them.